Hello, chat. I said I wasn't gonna stream today, and yet here I am anyway. So I was able to get all the baking done a little earlier than I anticipated, and I wasn't feeling too tired afterwards. So eh, I figured I have enough time to do like a bit of a shorter stream, something real chill. And I figured, what's more chill than shiny hunting? So we're gonna do some of that tonight. Hope y'all are having a good Friday. So I did actually prepare a little bit. I have a bunch of eggs, and I'm going to be hatching those first, and then I'll see maybe about going after something else, if I'm feeling it. Let me deposit my Gallade here, and then let's get started. I have a mix of different Pokemon that I can potentially get from these eggs. There are a couple different Pokemon that I've been trying to shiny hunt. So, the idea is, like, I'm gonna just drive around. If I find a shiny while I'm out and about, cool, but mostly I'm trying to hatch the eggs. So I'm wondering if maybe I should if I should be wandering around a specific area in off chance I bump into a shiny Pokemon in there, but I do see that there are Hawlucha around here, which, Hawlucha is pretty cool shiny. I don't know how many of y'all have seen the, Hawlucha Mega Evolution. That one did get shown off by Pokemon, so it looks pretty cool. Honestly, after seeing how goofy we had Mega Dragonite and then we had Mega Victory Bell, it's nice to have something that's a Mega Evolution that's a lot cooler. It's not like as crazy as some other Mega Evolutions I've seen, but I dig the aesthetic that they would go for on it. Keeps with the theme of the Pokemon. Oh, dang it. That's one thing that's a little bit annoying about hatching eggs, specifically while going out and about like this. Wild Pokemon that are aggressive will still go after you, and they will not they will not despawn while I'm hatching, so as soon as the hatching is done, I'm going to be into a battle, which is a little annoying. Most of the time when I am shiny hunting via eggs, I will just go about like a city or some area where I don't have to worry about Pokemon spawning, and thus don't have to worry about Pokemon engaging with me and wasting my time. But it's a little less interesting doing it like that. And while it is a little annoying, I have time tonight, so I'm like not in any big hurry. So what's a couple seconds if I have to run from a battle? That's why I gave the, that's why I gave my Pokemon this, what was it? Whatever that orb is that lets you run away easily. Smoke orb? You know, if I don't get any Pokemon out, if I don't get a shiny out of all these eggs, maybe I could try going for, Tinkaton, because I've never gotten a shiny Tinkaton. Or whatever the previous evolutions of that one is called. I always forget. They really should fix it where Pokemon will not engage you during this animation in the same way they wouldn't engage you while you have the pause menu open. It just, I don't get why that seems to be a big oversight. Okay, that's it for the first set. No luck among those. Of course I'm hatching foxes. Is anyone surprised? Oops. I'm sure I'm going to be accidentally running into plenty of Pokemon. But I am very excited for Legends ZA. The more I see about it, the more excited I get. Puppy. Is it Oopie? I'm not exactly sure. I know that's basically a funny way of spelling puppy, but I don't know how it's like supposed to be pronounced. But yeah, that's the grave dog. I think I accidentally stumbled upon a shiny of that one at one point. This might be a fun area to go around in. There's a lot of cool Pokemon that would be really good to get shinies of eventually. I've also never gotten the low kicks, or whatever the Pokemon is that's trying to bug me right now. I've never gotten a shiny one of that either. Low kicks, yeah, that's the one. Nimble low kicks. Thank you, Deadeye. Also welcome. I wasn't too tired after doing all the cookies, so I'm doing some Pokemon hatching. And shiny hunting. Found a shiny of it in Area 0 once. Oh, nice. That one's like gold for its shiny evolution. Random shiny B-Sharp. Oh, shiny B-Sharp. Yeah, that one's... Because shiny, and a random shiny B-Sharp. Yeah. Area 0 is actually really good for shiny hunting. You can evolve that one into a King Gambit. I think Low Kicks is green, is it? Maybe I'll have to hunt for one sometime so I can figure that out. I thought it was gold. Or maybe I'm thinking of the previous evolution for Nimble. Might be confusing with Pokerogue, second shiny tier. Huh. Oh yeah, the Pokerogue. I remember hearing about that. A roguelike Pokemon game. I'm just gonna get assaulted by Pokemon every single time I hatch an egg, aren't I? Cool. One more egg to hatch. Yeah, I hope y'all are doing well tonight. I don't even know how many cookies I made. One for the foxes I see. When am I not going for foxes? I have to. It's just I'm really curious how shiny hunting is going to go in Legends ZA. There's a particular Pokemon that I know I'm going to have to shiny hunt. I'll probably have to do the shiny hunt in the game itself because I don't know how... I'm assuming that you won't be able to, like, transfer Pokemon into it from Pokemon Home until you get, like, to a certain point. Usually that's, like, late game stuff. So I'm hoping that I can shiny hunt a Pokemon that I really want to get. Again, hope for the sound notification and option to evolve them whenever you want. I think I did hear that you can evolve them whenever you want. That is returning. But I don't know about the shiny sound yet. That might be something that we just have to, like, discover on our own once the game comes out. My recollection is all of the stuff that they've shown us for, like, the side quests too. Yeah, I'm eager to see what they do for, like, side quests. Because Legends Arceus had quite a lot of side quests, so there was plenty to do, which I thought was really, really fun. It'll be fine without a... But I'll be fine without a free shiny from a side quest. Oh yeah, that's right, because you get the... It was the Ponyta you got in the... in Legends Arceus. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's a good way of at least, you know... I see that like the modern-day version of the Red Gyarados. Which, honestly, I think is fine. It just gives a... It is a way to introduce shinies to new players. So I'm fine with that. Jesus, there are so many aggressive Pokemon out and about around here. 3 more eggs to hatch. And at least when it came to the when it came to the Ponyta, yeah, you get the Ponyta, but you could easily shiny hunt for like an alpha one. True, it was good heads up that shinies are a thing. I agree with that. Like I said, it's a good way to introduce shinies to new players who might be unfamiliar with the concept, or just a way to showcase how shinies work in the game. So I do appreciate that. If that does return in ZA, we'll have to wait and see. Jesus, there's so many Pokemon around here. I think I had gotten a shiny Wurmple before that quest turned up, though. Not sure. I could see that. I feel like it's so easy to find shinies in that game. A little tougher if you're going for a specific shiny. Even more so if you're going for, like, alpha shinies. Woo. The D-pad, a little too responsive sometimes. I already anticipate I'm going to be spending hundreds of hours in Legends ZA. If my experience with it is going to be anything like Legends Arceus. I never really hunt for shinies unless I plan on giving them to a friend or something. I love shiny hunting. I really got into shiny hunting around... I did some shiny hunting around, like, Diamond and Pearl era, but I really got into shiny hunting around X and Y, I believe. Because I was able to finally figure out how to do the, like, breeding Masuda method. And that was... one of the first ones I had to get was, obviously... shiny Fennekin, and then I also had to get a shiny Honedge, because you know, Aegislash is really awesome. The shiny for that one is so cool. I remember finding a shiny Wurmple while looking for normal Heracross and shining Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, the random shinies are some of the best ones because, you know, you don't expect it. It just kind of happens. When you're shiny hunting, it's obviously, you know what you're going for and you know what to look for. So, but the random shinies are really fun. Just like that surprise. Especially if it's one that, like, you haven't seen the shiny of. Shiny Heracross is another cool one. I wonder... I know it's like... Do you remember your first shiny? Yes, I believe it wasn't one that I was excited for. I think it was a... It was either a Numel or a Camerupt. In... Ruby or Sapphire, I want to say? Gotta feel sorry for the people who didn't know about Shiny Mons or were offered one as a starter. Oh, yeah. I think later generations they started shiny locking the starters, which sucks. But I know that was definitely a thing in... I've seen a lot of people shiny hunting in for the starters in like Heart Gold and Soul Silver, because you get to view all three of them right at the start there. So it's three chances every time. Nowadays, if you want a shiny starter, you have to like breed or play one of the games where that Pokemon is available in a different way than as a starter, because you can't get shiny starters anymore. I think the last generation that let you do that was Sun and Moon. Because I believe I recall people shiny hunting for the starters in that. It was just a very long process to get to that moment, and it's not one of those where you can tell in the cutscene. It's not until you're actually in the battle where you can see whether or not it's shiny. Wasn't a recent gen not shiny locked, but you don't see it's shiny not until you actually throw it out in the battle. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about in Sun and Moon. Yeah, you don't see whether it's shiny until the battle starts, but they weren't shiny locked, at least. I think after that, they started shiny locking them. I don't remember if it's the case with the, whatever the sequels were, Sun and Moon 2? I forget what they were called. Ultra Sun and Moon, thank you, yes. Shit goes how poor of a name it was for those. I got one of them, I recall, but it really didn't grip me as much as the first Sun and Moon. Fuck off. Get your hands off me. One thing that's a little annoying, at least with the current latest Pokemon, aside from getting them through Pokemon Go, you can't get the starters from this game in any other Pokeball other than a regular Pokeball. If you import them from Pokemon Go, you can potentially have one in a like Great Ball, Ultra Ball, or Premier Ball. But for just getting them in this game, yeah, you can't. Which is a little annoying thing. I like being able to have a Pokeball that fits the Pokemon. So it's a little annoying when, you can only have that Pokemon in a regular Pokeball. You probably said it, just the 3 starters from this game. Yeah, only the 3 starters from this game. Every other starter that you can get in this game, you can catch it in any other Pokeball you want. Because they put all of the other Pokemon, all the other starters in the DLC for this. Which is disappointing, because I would love to have a shiny Sprigatito in a Nest Ball. Or a Friend Ball. I think those would be perfect for it. I like the Beast Ball. Yeah. That one has atrocious catch rates. The best way to use a Beast Ball in this game is in a raid. But, I mean, when are you going to actually get... When are you actually going to get a shiny Pokemon in a raid? I guess the way I go about that is... If you can catch a Pokemon in a raid with a Beast Ball that is breedable. I think I did that with one of the Mightiest Mark Pokemon. So because of that... Oh, speaking of, it's time for the last Ruinous. Is it? I know that I heard that we hit the, it was like over 2 million for the last one, for Ting Lu. So we cleared that one, no problem. I can actually check, I think. Pokeportal, mystery gift, check Pokeportal news. Sunday? Okay. Is the raid still up at least if we want to fight it more? Because, let's see, yeah, I see the ground-type Pokemon are still out and about, but I don't see the special... I don't see the special raid anymore, so I guess that's over. Oh, no, it's still there. Okay. I could do that one again if I wanted to. From the regular menu. Oops. Alright, in here, news. Hello, Glint, welcome! Oh yeah, here's the details on all these. Okay, this goes until the end of until Sunday. And so after that, then we can challenge the other one. I'll have to keep an eye out for... You're still awake? Is it late for you? It's only about like 8 p.m. for me here. I usually keep an eye out for FoxyDude Plays. He puts out videos for pretty much every special raid and gives like advice on what kind of Pokemon to take. 4:15 a.m.? Oh my god. You should get some sleep. God damn. I've had quite a day so far. You know, I worked and then I spent like 4 hours baking a bunch of cookies. You don't know him, but Robo and I did the bull raid, got super lucky with the filler NPCs, Gardevoir spammed Life Dew. I mean, I can solo. That's the thing with the FoxyDude Plays. He has guides on how to basically solo a lot of them. So, I just use my Ogre Pawn, and I literally just start the battle by using Focus Energy. Yeah, he has a reference. Yeah, FoxyDude does a lot of really good guides, so you know, I reference his videos a lot for all that stuff. 9 times out of 10, his guides are very helpful and pretty reliable. I think there was like 1 or 2 of the Mightiest Mark Pokemon that I was struggling with his. That was going to be backup strats. We just went in first run to get info ourselves though. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. If you're just trying to like figure out what it has and then go from there, that's valid. There was no way that Iron Hands was going to work. My sleep has been rather sluggish recently, so I'm planning on pushing through to this day's evening. Oh, you're doing... Oh, that's always so risky. It's so much of a struggle to like push yourself and stay awake and then try to like reset your sleep schedule. Sometimes it works if you can manage it. Yeah, good slapdash. Okay. Yeah, good luck with that, because I feel like I've tried that and rarely does it actually work for me. I almost always end up having to take a nap, and then it just fucks up my sleep schedule even more. It's a mess. Best of luck to you, though. I'm on a pretty good sleep schedule right now, although I feel like I could definitely afford more sleep. I mean, on average, I'm getting about 6 hours most nights. Once in a while, I'll like sneak in a nap to supplement that, and then on the weekends I get to sleep in a little bit more, so it helps. What with you know, working 8-hour shifts and then also trying to get as much time streaming as I can. I don't have a whole lot of time for things outside of that, but I am making up for that because you know, today I wasn't going to stream today. I should probably try pushing for an all-nighter as well, but I decided to just wake up earlier instead. Yeah, honestly, that's not a bad idea. I mean, it sucks waking up earlier if you're not accustomed to it. You know, if you got good alarms and, you know, can actually stick to getting up, then yeah, it's a valid option. And it's probably better than trying to just pull an all-nighter. That just sounds uncomfortable. I will say, I know it's kind of like, when it was first announced, everyone kind of like joked about it and shat on it, but the Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo is actually a really good alarm clock. I have gotten I feel like it's really helped me maintain my sleep schedule, and with the way the alarm works for it, I don't really find myself sleeping in. No, I don't shut off my alarm, go back to sleep. I actually do get up when the alarm goes off, with how the alarm works. I've been playing a lot of Division 2 lately, had a session of Destiny 2 tonight, got back into playing Cyberpunk 2077 gaming. Hell yeah. I've still not played Cyberpunk. I know it's, I mean, it sits on the Switch too, so maybe that's a place where I can potentially get it. I think the only time I did an all-nighter was playing Sonic Adventure at a friend's house during a sleepover. Yeah, that's a bit of a special occasion, so that's not exactly the same kind of thing. Whereas if you're just trying to, like, fix your sleep schedule, I feel like there have been times... With me, I think it was probably playing Voices of the Void. Oh my god, I've lost so much time to that game. I just start playing and it just sucks me in, and I just get so immersed into it, I don't even realize how much time passes. I'm really hoping that another update drops for that soon, because I love it and I want to get back to it, but I mean, I'm at a point right now, all I would be doing is more trying to collect the other plushes, and I was struggling so much getting that yellow, the yellow Uriel plush, or yellow Argemia plush. I just had to, like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just grab the one that I got from a previous save. As far as I know, I did all the steps properly. There's just some other arbitrary bullshit that was just not letting it register that I actually did it right. Or it could have been, like, an event happened at the same time when it would have activated, so I'm, like, at that point, I'm like, I did what I needed to do to get the plush. I am considering this legit. Fuck it. I've been trying to avoid spoilers. I've been seeing a lot of posts on Reddit. I think the person who does the modeling has been sharing stuff, but thankfully all of the posts that have been popping up on Reddit are at least properly tagged. Which makes me wonder when we're going to get the next update for the game. And am I going to have to start all over, or will I be able to continue a previous save? I'm not sure what I would do, honestly. I'm not sure whether I want to start fresh, or if I want to continue from a previous save and just, like, reset the event days. There's only one game that I advise you not play for extended periods, Saints Row 4. I did, so when I take a break, walk into a white room, and it's red? Yeah. Oh, is that because of, like, how the game looks visually? I've heard of Saints Row 4. I don't think I actually know a lot about it, though. I managed to handle, like, in terms of games that would give you, like, eye strain, I don't seem to have issues with that kind of stuff much. Like, I played a ton of Nintendo 3DS with the 3D on, and I just got really used to it. So, like, also the few times that I've tried VR, it felt very natural to me. So I feel like I could probably handle VR for extended periods. I don't know if I would necessarily want to, because, you know, you're still wearing a bulky headset and whatnot, so I'm sure that's got some, like, neck strain and whatnot. I remember walking in on my nephew playing Saints Row when he was younger. I just told him, no. The game's visuals have heavy palettes, and when you start, it's heavy red palette. I see, I see. Well, it can't be worse than playing Virtual Boy. If you even know what that is. Which I have played some. Zoe actually has one. My roommate. I can't remember when I did play it, but, you know, she has one, and we had actually set it up. If you are familiar with it. Weren't those just red? Yeah, it was just red and black. That was all it was. And, you know, you're looking into this tiny little visor type thing, and, you know, you set it up, like, on a desk, and you're, like, hunched over. It's not exactly the most comfortable thing, and It is very much an isolated thing. You know, it's almost entirely solo games. But I'm still really disappointed that Nintendo never took the opportunity to put Virtual Boy games on the 3DS. Like, why couldn't you do that? It's the perfect opportunity, you know? Like, you could adjust the palette a little bit to make it a little easier on the eyes, but give people a chance to actually play those games. I can think of something even worse than the Virtual Boy. Let me look up the name. I was about to ask why specifically just the 3DS, and it clicked. Yeah, it wouldn't really work on any other platform, that's the thing. I remember playing a lot of Monster Hunter on the 3DS, specifically when I got the Nintendo 3DS XL. Or the new Nintendo 3DS, because that one had the actual, like, face tracking, or they called it Super Stable 3D. It just basically used IR sensors to, like, just track your eyes and position the things so, you know, it stayed more stable, whereas with the regular 3DSs, you had to, like, really keep your head solid, and you had to look at it just right for the 3D effect to work well, which I got really good at. It didn't bother me. But then the new 3DS XLs had that just much more stable. It was more comfortable. What about the Nintendo Labo VR? I have not tried it. But what I have heard about that is it's not really like a headset per se, because you have to hold it up to your face. So it's kind of has some of the same problems as the Virtual Boy. Just instead of it sat on a table, you're holding it to your face. Tiger Electronics R-Zone. Okay, I know of Tiger Electronics. I know most of them do, like, the LCD games, so those are the, like, most basic of types of video games, like Game & Watch level type shit. I don't know if I'm familiar with the R-Zone. I might have to look into that. Also, another problem with the Labo VR, I know that there were a couple of the, like, Toy-Con exclusive games that were intended for use with that, but the only other game that I would, like, care to try it with was Breath of the Wild. And even then, you know, with the way that's working, it's already playing kind of rough on the Switch. It has to, like, basically duplicate the frames, so it plays, I think it plays, like, at an even worse resolution and frame rate. Oops, shit. Ran into a bug. Imagine a Virtual Boy, but it's strapped to your head, and you use one eye to play the most basic games. Yeah, that does not sound especially fun, and that sounds like what I would expect from Tiger Electronics. Those were always the cheapest things, and they would always break, and, you know, they were fun for, like, maybe 5 minutes. What's wrong with using one eye? You're using your eye to... Well, okay. I would imagine something like that would be a little bit more of an eye strain. I'll use a non-gaming example here, and it's going to be relevant for tomorrow. When I wear my fursuit, with the way it is... with the way my fursuit is, I can't see out of both eyes at the same time. I can only look out of one eye at a time. And I can see fine like that. I don't have depth perception. I just kind of have to deal with not having that, which, you know, it is what it is. The problem is, when I wear my fursuit for quite a while, like, you know, an hour or two at a time, my eyes kind of get used to only looking out one eye at a time, so when I take the head off, I have to, like, readjust. I'm kidding, most people poke fun at my username. Oh, oh my god, I didn't even register that. Wow, completely flew right over my head. That's a good one, oh my god. Need an airplane emote. Yeah. I was completely oblivious. That was a good one. Hot damn. I am a little surprised I haven't stumbled upon any other shinies. Because usually, I mean, I've been wandering around quite a bit, and with it being the Switch 2 version, I'm seeing a ton more spawns. So usually I would have stumbled upon some random shiny by now. Unless one did appear and I just missed it. Probably missed one while distracted. It could be. I am kind of yapping more than paying attention. Mostly because the eggs are what I'm focusing on. Or the Aspart, the pre-evo. Yeah, I did shiny hunt for one of those. I had to be really close. For a Flittle? I think it's Flittle. I could be wrong. I did shiny hunt for one of those back on the Switch 1. So trying to like not only look close to see it, you know, dealing with the rough frame rates. Oh, because I think I did that in the desert area. I am right. Hell yeah. If there's one thing I know, it's Pokemon. By the way, that R-Zone I mentioned, it uses a wired controller and cartridges. So just like the Virtual Boy. Okay, that's another batch down. So I've already hatched like 50. So there's 30 and then another 15, 45. Wait, yeah, 45. How many eggs do I have total here? Cartridges strapped to your face. Oh, wow. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5 boxes. And each box is 30 eggs. Not enough, almost certainly. I think my odds are... I don't remember the exact odds. I'm using the Masuda method. So I should have the best odds for hatching, but it's not actually the best odds for shiny hunting in this game. I think the odds are better with the sandwiches, especially combined with the outbreak method. You use those and you're probably going to be finding a ton of shinies. Feels dirty using the method with clearly hacked mons. You mean for breeding? Yeah, I get that. I don't know if I would say that I care that much. Because I think the Ditto I am using is most likely a hacked one. But I'm just using it for the IVs. I'm still doing everything. All the other Pokemon I'm using are legit. It's just the Ditto. Don't know why you'd hack mons to this game, though. It's so easy to find things for stats. Yeah. Especially because you can also modify the stats however you want. I haven't done hacking myself, but I did get a Ditto. I don't remember how I got it, but a friend gave it to me. They might have gotten it from one of those, like, generation websites or something. But, I mean, I'm not using it for... I don't play competitive or anything like that. I'm just, you know, breeding for my own purposes, which... I mean, I don't even really need to breed for the stats because I don't do... I mean... I'm more likely to use Pokemon for raids than for battling. So in that case, the stats still do matter, but I mean, I have so many... I also do have so many... actually, Never tried using a hyper-trained Ditto for breeding. No, it does not. Hyper-trained does not pass down. So that does not work. You would need a Pokemon that naturally has those IVs in order for those to pass down. It is possible. I think when you, depending on the star rating of the raid, you can find Pokemon that have a guaranteed number of stats. So whatever the star number, I believe it is, whatever the star number is for the raid, that Pokemon will have that many IVs minus 1. So, which is why the 7-star raids always have 6 perfect IVs. So 6-star raids will have 5 perfect IVs. I think. Maybe it's 4. Maybe, it's been a while, I might have to double check on that, but, I recall that much. I've been lucky with the 6-star Ditto raids. Yeah, if you get the 6-star Ditto raids, that's a good way of going. Yeah, again, sounds right. Yeah. It has been a while since I've actually done raids for that reason. I've mostly just been doing the event raids. I've been doing the Ting Lu one quite a bit, basically each day, because I have chances of getting more Herba Mystica with those. A nice thing I can do is, after I do the solo one offline, then I can just hop online and I can find a raid that way. Most of the time, people who are hosting the online raids know enough of... They have their own decent strategies, so it works well enough. And I think it does count towards... Here's the thing. I'm not sure if, like, 4 players join in one match to fight a single Ting Lu, if that counts as 1 or if it counts as 4 KOs. Yeah, everyone uses Ogerpon. That's what I'm doing, yeah. Because I can solo with Ogerpon, so I might as well go into the battle with the rest of the folks with the same Pokemon. They don't have to worry about me getting KO'd, and I'm still just helping out. I'm gonna assume it counts as 1. Yeah, that makes sense. And we still ended up with like 2 million, over 2 million KOs for it. Whereas with what was the other one called? The cat one? I'm spacing on its name. Qian Pao? Yeah, Qian Pao. Apparently that one is one that people really wanted shiny. We got like 5 million KOs on that one. Which is... It's the coolest of the 4. I just wish its shiny was better. I'm glad that I have the shiny of it. But honestly, if I had to pick between the two, you know, shiny or regular, I think I would go with the regular one. Just color-wise, I like it better. You know, you've got the snow leopard-like Pokemon, whereas the shiny version just makes it kind of look chocolate. It went from vanilla to chocolate. Both together make zebra biome from Bonanza. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna say Scyther is one of the most underrated Pokemon designs, in my opinion. Scyther is pretty dang cool. But then you have Scizor, which just makes Scyther even cooler, and then Mega Scizor. It is cool. That is a Pokemon that was, like, designed to be cool from the start. I wish that Shiny Scizor wasn't a sickly green. Again, so many of the green Pokemon shiny versions are just, like, sickly, gross, like, puke green. It's disappointing. Just, can we do, like, a nice foresty green? Or just maybe a lime? But, like... well, I guess lime is kind of, like, more the sickly color. I don't vibe with Scizor, to be honest. I mean, that's fair. It is a pretty drastic evolution. It does change the Pokemon up quite a bit, so I get that. I wonder if Mega Cleavor will be a thing. Oh, that's right, I forgot about Cleavor. Hmm. Maybe. I don't think we will, but I don't know. I've heard that there are leaks of Mega Evolutions, at least in a sense where there are descriptions of them out and about. Reportedly, isn't one of those weird things where the stat total doesn't really change? I'm not certain. It's like a bug crawling out of the cave and discovering Stark Industries. It's weird. I'm trying to remember. Stats are really not something that I have focused much on, so I haven't really paid much attention to how much a Pokemon's stats change when they Mega Evolve. So I wouldn't be the right person to ask in regards to that. I believe Mega Pokemon stats do change. But how much they change, I couldn't tell you. Google it. Yes, inform me. Educate me. Scyther, Caesar, and Cleaver all have 500 base stat total. Okay. I like that. That's good to, like, keep them all sort of even. Actually, that is kind of... Well, wait a minute. You would think that if it evolves from Scyther into another Pokemon, that... I think it would make more sense if Caesar and Cleavor had the same base stats. It's weird that Scyther's doesn't... I think... Let me guess. They probably are offset a lot by speed. I'm guessing Scyther has a lot of base speed, whereas the other two don't. So they take the stat from speed and it gets put into other stats. That would make the most sense to me. If I were to be looking into that kind of stuff, Cerebi would probably be my... Cerebi is my go-to for a lot of Pokemon information. I like the way that they have the information laid out. If there's any detail you're looking for regarding Pokemon, any of the Pokemon games, that's usually my first go-to. Caesar drops 40 speed to get 20 defense and attack. Okay, yep. That sounds about right. That's 5. Oh yeah, you saw my post in TUV about the Kirby DLC, right? I actually finished it yesterday, which is dumb because in order to promote Caesar, they released a flash game showing how fast Caesar was. Yeah, I mean, there are so many situations where the media or like the anime or even like, you know, card game and whatnot kind of contradicts the like stats of the Pokemon or things like that. So it's just they're gonna promote and talk about the Pokemon however they think it gets people interested, even if it like contradicts stats or abilities or shit like that. It's funny. Kleavor drops 20 speed, 10 special defense, and special attack to get 25 attack and 15 defense. Yeah, okay, so there's some rebalancing there. It is at least interesting that, you know, stats-wise, there isn't any one of those three that's better than the other. It just depends on how you want to divvy up those stats, which I think is neat. No one seemed to react to the image I posted. Was it? It was a post about Raidu, right? I don't know. Demon in power having a weakness to gun. Oh wait, was that what it was? Okay, I think my problem was I didn't know how to read the like UI, so that didn't parse to me. That is funny though. Okay. Yeah, for something like that, if you're not familiar with the game's UI or mechanics or something like that, sometimes they do need a little more explaining. Meanwhile, I'm still confused about why people are so attracted to Psychic Bedsheets Gardevoir. Yeah, I think it's just because it has like this really feminine aura to it. It's got sort of like a regal elegance to it, and I think all of that combined just really... The hair over that too, yeah, the hair over the eye. You never know what kind of Pokemon end up being like super popular with different groups and whatnot. Game Freak does seem to try with some designs. Some. Like Salazzle. Oh, they knew what they were doing when it comes to Salazzle. Oh my god. Shiny hunting for a shiny Salazzle is such a pain in the ass. So many times you end up with a male one, and then you can't do a shit with that. Guys, check out this female-only Pokemon we made. Salazzle, yeah. I feel like shiny hunting in general is a pain. It really depends on what Pokemon you're shiny hunting for, and what game, and what method. There's a lot of different factors to take into consideration for it. For now, like, I'm just coasting along. If I find a shiny, that's cool. I'm also hatching eggs, so if I find a shiny this way. Male shiny Combi, yeah, that, oh god. I know that there was, when I was getting more into shiny hunting, there was a Twitch streamer that I watched who, his whole thing was shiny hunting. He was trying to basically get a shiny living dex, and he would need to like catch each Pokemon. So he would need to catch each Pokemon or evolve it in like all the different types of games. So one of the ones he was trying to get was female Combi, so he could evolve it into a Vespiquen, and he ended up like with 5 male shinies before finally getting the female. And he's doing like hatching in I want to say it was Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, one of those two. That shit's a pain. Whereas they've made the shiny hunting in the more recent games a lot more chill. The new Mega Evo that was announced, by the way, Mega Halucha. That's fantastic design. Yeah, Mega Halucha is great. I am very happy with it. I cannot wait to see that shiny. One of the deer look different? Oh. Did I miss it? Oh. These ones? Or... Yeah, so... They all do... For these ones, the shiny, at least for the deerling, the shiny ones have the pink flower instead of the yellow. And then, I don't actually remember what the shiny for the Sawsbuck looked like, because each of them are different for the seasons. You thought a green one? Wait. Like the one over there? I don't think I saw a green one. Might have been a bush. If you think you saw it, clip it, maybe. Mega Halucha is giving 1980s Lucha Libre with cape and feathers. Yes, I dig it. After getting two goofy megas, getting one that's more cool is awesome. I am happy with that. I am going to have to do an ad break here soon. The Spidops is sneaking up on me. Get off my ass, buddy. Honestly, I'm fine with Mega Dragonite. I've warmed up to it. A Pseudo-Wudo. Yeah, the Pseudo-Wudo are running around like crazy, too. Okay, so since I'm between hatches here, this is probably a good time for me to take that BRB. I'm gonna go ahead and do a save. A Pseudo-Wudo and a deer were fused for a bit. Yeah, the crossover like that, plenty. Alright, I'm gonna do a BRB, and then I will get back to hunting. I think I'm also gonna take some, I think I'm also gonna take an opportunity to make some tea. So it might be a little bit of an extended ad break, maybe like 5 minutes-ish. But I'm gonna do that, and I will see you all in a few minutes. Thank you for your patience. We are back. But yeah, I agree that Mega Victory Bell is bad design. They should have added some vibrant leaves on the top and like a peacock's plumage. Instead, they made it a sack of acid. I wouldn't say it's bad design, but I get where you're coming from. But I also get what they're going for with it. I believe that the idea of it is, instead of it like the original Victory Bell has its mouth open, so prey can fall into it and then get dissolved in the acid. Whereas Mega Victory Bell has to use its vines to keep its mouth closed, and then it just expels the acid instead. It is a poison Pokemon, yeah. Oh, I assumed the leaves coloring was to show that it's basically dying. I don't recall. So I need to double check what sort of like flavor text and description that they added for the Pokemon. I didn't really look much into that just yet. I just remember seeing the video and then seeing some of the other discussions about it. Tips are going more of an autumn color, brown-orange. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I've never been a big fan of the Bellsprout line anyway. So that Mega Evolution reveal was like, okay, I mean, it's kind of goofy. I mean, for the like half a dozen Victory Bell fans out there, I'm sure they're super happy. Most I remember about Mega Evolutions that all of them are just in pain. Yeah, that's another thing that I've heard as well. I don't know how much Pokemon is like sticking to that point of it, but I don't know. Well, I guess we'll learn more about it in... It's also been a very long while since I played X and Y, and if you were to ask me about the story of X and Y, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you any about it. I just focused on the Pokemon battles and then got into shiny hunting. That's about what 90% of my time in X and Y was. Like I said, X and Y got me back into Pokemon because you give me a Fox starter Pokemon, and I'm all over that shit. So, on the topic of the Mega Evolutions, I have heard that basically a list of all of the Megas have been leaked. However, there aren't like photos of them, but there are descriptions, and so far, they have been pretty accurate. I have not looked into the list, because I'm trying to avoid spoilers as much as possible. Welcome to Pokemon XY, where the main villain is Ginger with an apocalypse fetish. Yeah. Maybe I should revisit it, but like that would involve me having to restart my save, and I don't want to do that. And getting a new like physical copy of the game, I don't even want to know how much those are going for. Maybe I should explore the water. I do find it interesting that Hawlucha... So, Kalos was the region that introduced Mega Evolutions. And yet, all of the Mega Evolutions that were in the game were for Pokemon, for existing Pokemon. There were no new Pokemon from that generation that got a Mega Evolution. Hawlucha is the first of 2. Technically, Diancie did get a Mega Evolution, but that wasn't until, like, way after the fact. I think my most played Pokemon game is Diamond. I think he'd be into the Calyrex horses. There's like Spectravir and what was the other one? They're okay. They're kind of neat. There's the Ghost and the Ice one, if my recollection is correct. I'm not sure how much I enjoy the idea of, like, Pokemon fusing together. The whole thing with, I didn't play Black and White, so the idea of making a poor attempt at a Four Horsemen's reference. Oh! Again, oh my god, I'm so slow. I mean, the problem is that there were only 2 of those. There was only the 2 horses. I swear if Talonflame gets nothing... That would be... Talonflame really feels like it deserves a Mega Evolution. So on my point, as I was talking about, yeah, so the, all of the Pokemon from that generation, none of them got Mega Evolutions. Diancie only got one way after the fact. And then... I'm not sure where that one was even first announced or, like, introduced. Might have been for some special event where it was a tie-in for, like, the show or something. But anyway, poor. That's why a poor attempt. Yeah. So yeah, Hawlucha is the first Pokemon of the Kalos region, aside from Diancie, to get a Mega Evolution, which is nice. It always did feel weird. I was really bummed that the starters for that generation didn't get Mega Evolutions, meanwhile, you get the original starters, you know, Charizard with 2 Mega Evolutions, and then Venusaur, Blastoise, all of them have Mega Evolutions. Even the Generation 3 Pokemon got Mega Evolutions, but nothing for the Pokemon of the generation that, you know, introduced Mega Evolutions. I was really mad about that. I wanted a Delphox Mega. Just... I was mad about that. I was really disappointed. I'd be happy if Luxray gets some love. Oh my god, Mega Luxray would go so hard. Mega Luxray is another one of my favorites. That would be an awesome one to get a Mega. Was shown with that first Water and Fire mythical Pokemon getting heated there. Look...
Fox, take it easy.
all right, I'll calm down. When Luxray is my absolute favorite. I like how much the middle finger that, like, oh hey, this is the region we introduced for Mega Evolutions. No, none of this region's Pokemon can. But look at Charizard again, right? Yeah, Charizard. I'm sick of Charizard getting so much attention. Charizard getting 2 fucking Mega Evolutions, and he gets a Gigantamax, and yeah. So the fact that none of the starters for that generation got Mega Evolutions really annoyed me. Does Volcarona have a warm body ability? I never got a Volcarona. Isn't that one a mythical Pokemon? I never got a Volcarona until, like, way later. I think via, like, a distribution. It wasn't one that you could regularly get through the game. On that point, oh, what Volcarona? I'm thinking of the evolution. You're right. Yes, Volcarona. What's the other Pokemon that I'm thinking of? That mythical one that has, like, a ring around it. Sorry, Confetti was talking about or someone was talking about. Am I? What? Did someone mention water, or did I, like, just Volcanion? Thank you. Okay, I was getting the 2 mixed up. I swear someone said something about water and fire, and that made me think of... No, yeah, Confetti. The water and fire mythical Pokemon. Yeah, so that must be Volcanion. Thank you. That's why I was thinking of Volcanion. Yeah, so, yes. Volcarona does have Warm Body, which is why I'm using it. Sorry. I'm all over the place. Oh, goodness. It's not even a great Pokemon either. Yeah, I said it. Charizard is overrated. Charizard is a base cool design, and I get why it's so popular and gets so much attention. Okay, that's why I was asking. Yeah, that I'm using it. Hello, Vash. Well, Vash in here with the first for emotes. I love those emotes. I swear I'm such a dated Pokemon player that I was about to say Heatran. Yeah, Heatran, could you get that one normally in the game, or was that another one that you had to get via, like, distribution and some shit? Which, I was about to get on another point. Get ready for more Pokemon ranting. I so hate Pokemon distribution events. Like, very relevant, even right now. You know, with the events going on where you have to do the raids and, you know, we have to work together and defeat a number of the legendary Pokemon in order to get a shiny version of it. Why couldn't you just let me shiny hunt it for it myself? Why do I have to participate in this limited time event and then have it get it via mystery gift? It's just, Pokemon does not want players to be able to shiny hunt for legendaries anymore. They're like holding on to them and only giving them out during the distribution events and shit like that to keep players like. I can't really even think of a good reason for them to do it. Pretty sure you could get Heatran normally in-game. Yeah, so I think that sounds about right. Black and White was the generation that I played the least. So my knowledge of that is much more limited than any of the other generations. Checking interest. I don't know, like, for so many other generations, I think Black and White was the last generation where you could shiny hunt the legendaries. Any after that, you could only get them via the distribution event. Or via other methods. For example, shiny Solgaleo and Luna... fuck is that one called again? Lunara? The bat one... Lunala. Okay, I was close. Lunala. Yeah, shiny Solgaleo is so fucking cool, but you can't shiny hunt for it in that game. If you want to shiny hunt for Solgaleo, the only way to do that is through the DLC for Sword and Shield. I mean, a little racist, but yeah, close. What? R instead of an L. Oh. Black and White is the only gen region I actually haven't played in any form. Wow. So, I recall Black and White... Okay. Yeah. I'm me being the uncultured swine. All of these are just going right over my head. So, Black and White was sort of a, like, soft reboot for the series. You couldn't find any returning Pokemon until you got, like, to post-game content. And I don't know if that was something that actually sort of, like, worked to its disadvantage. At least for me. Because, I mean, a lot of... The thing that I really enjoy about Pokemon not only is finding new Pokemon, but seeing which ones are returning. Because, obviously, here's the thing. Every Pokemon has someone that is... Every Pokemon is someone's favorite Pokemon. Even with some of, like, the lesser-known Pokemon, the ones that you wouldn't think anyone would love, there's always going to be some person that absolutely loves that Pokemon. So, it's always great to see which Pokemon are returning. And it's also cool to see the new Pokemon. But I don't know, I feel like there was something about... Maybe just the designs from that generation just weren't jiving with me. So it was a combination of me not really, like, enjoying any of them. Also, like, the three different, like, elemental monkeys. I'm not a big fan of monkeys, so I didn't like any of those, and I just kept seeing them all over when I was playing. Like, they aren't even good Pokemon. Oh, not at all. Possibly the worst-selling Pokemon game at the time, and while it did introduce a lot of neat stuff, casual and competitive-wise, just the attempt at something brand new made it lose appeal. Sounding like Frieza. That one took me a moment, but I got it. Ah, stupid monkeys. Swear to God, if you didn't... yeah. I do know enough about Dragon Ball Z to get that one. Right. These have all hatched. I need to swap them out. Keep in mind, I am at, like, the end of a day here. I have worked for 8 hours. I have spent, like, 4 to 5 hours baking, and now I am... My brain is fried, so I'm just, like... just rolling around, looking at Pokemon, and hatching eggs. Honestly, I liked Black and White. That's fine, yeah, I totally understand it's a generation that a lot of people really did like. I think it might also heavily depend on at what point, like, the demographic of people who are getting into that one. For people who were new to the series at the time, it probably did look like... I mean, it's a brand new Pokemon game. If that's your first Pokemon game, it's not going to feel that much different than any of the other ones, because, you know, you're still becoming familiar with them all in one go. God, I remember just how I got Manaphy. Oh yeah, that one, didn't that one have, like, some weird stipulation? Like, didn't you have to get it from, like, Pokemon Ranger or something? The way that Pokemon has handled distribution for some of the mythical Pokemon just baffles me. Oh, mine was Leaf Green, and my first own game was Heart Gold. Okay. Yeah, I am an old... My first Pokemon game was Red. OG. Game Boy days. I've played every generation of Pokemon. I didn't finish Black and White until way later. I think the only reason I finished Black and White was so I could transfer up my Pokemon to X and Y. Pokemon and No More Heroes is basically the same. Just press the attack button. No More Heroes, another series that I have not actually played. Heard plenty of good things about it, though. You had to complete the game to get a special mission in the game. Complete it, and you get an egg to transfer to Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Okay, yeah. I think what I remember more specifically about that was discussions about people trying to shiny hunt. Trying to shiny hunt for a Manaphy was atrocious, because you basically would have to complete the game. Or was it, Oh, right, I'm into different Pokemon now. I mixed up the Pokemon that I was breeding. So... this is going to be a different set. I don't think I have any more of the... That's not a fox. It's not a fox. It's an otter. I have some other types of Pokemon mixed in here, so let's see what else I got in here. I think I have some also in here. Okay, so now we got otters and ducks. We're on to aquatic life. Do it now. Attacked by a monkey. Told you I don't like the monkeys. Here's a question for y'all. What's your favorite Pokemon type? Did go Grookey for Sword and Shield. I think I went with Scorbunny. Glint Ice. Ice is a good type. Ice is one of those that's, I feel like it's typically underrepresented. Generation 1 had... It's funny though, there were a couple of types that there was, like, no representation. Vash guy says grass. Hell yeah, bro, you like that grass? I get ya, I see. Confetti Penguin likes flying. Nice, nice. Funny penguin liking flying type. For me, I would say probably fire. Main reason fire is because so many of the Pokemon that I love are fire types. For Generation 1, you've got Vulpix, Ninetales, Arcanine, and, Growlithe. And then, fire for the, you've got also, Fennekin's line for fire type as well. There's just a lot of fire types. Yes, the irony is immeasurable. As soon as I saw Articuno, I knew ice was my favorite type. Maybe grass or fighting, really not sure. Yeah. Funny thing, I think there are enough fire types that are also like canid type, where I could have a full team of fire type dogs, so to speak. Like I could have an Arcanine, I could have a Houndoom, I could have Delphox and Ninetales. I'm sure there are 2 other type of Pokemon that I could fit in there that would work, but maybe I could, if I could pick a second type, it probably would be Dark. Oh, Entei. Well, I'm trying to not do like legendaries. I try to think, if I were a gym leader, what would my team be? And obviously, you're not going to have legendary Pokemon if you're a gym leader. Entei is another good example of a fire dog. Although I've heard some people say that like the Generation 2 legendaries aren't dogs, that they're cats, and like kinda. I mean, Reiko looks more like a saber-toothed cat, so I guess I kind of get that. Weak to water, evidently. Yeah. Ice types have had it rough since the beginning. I've seen many videos about how ice is an awkward type, and Game Freak struggles with them. Yeah, that makes sense. There's a lot that ice is weak to, and not really a whole lot that ice is strong against. But does the game literally refer to them as dogs? I don't know what they actually refer to them as. It's been a long while since I've like gone through those games, so that's a good question. I am not certain. I think they're usually referred to as beasts, like generic, not unspecific animal. That could just be my own vague memory, not based on actual information. Just, it's been a while since I've played Gold, Silver, Crystal, Heart Gold, or Soul Silver. Watch a lot of Loxton Nogging vids. I don't know what that is. I'm lost. Okay, see, I did still have some foxes in here. I'm still confused to this day why ice isn't super effective against water. Yeah, you have to use, like, Freeze Dry. Freeze Dry is the one instance of an ice move being effective against water. It's odd that they had to do that. Also, I remember, on the topic of, like, Pokemon moves, I remember Scald being I'm not sure if it still is in, like, current game, but Scald being a very powerful water move, for the fact that it can actually burn. That's the one who does some stuff with Terminal Montage, right? With the Pokemon Battle Royales? I'm not certain. The name doesn't ring a bell. Terminal Montage, that name sounds familiar, though. Sorry, I watch a lot of Lux and Noggin. Pokemon YouTuber does lore and shit for Pokemon in game and design. Oh, okay, I see. Gotcha, gotcha. And yeah, no need to apologize, it's all good. Just because I'm not familiar with someone doesn't mean you can't talk about them. My favorite water move, though, Muddy Water. Yes! Throwing that out there and lowering their accuracy in the process, it's always super nice. I am really eager to see how... The idea of, like, active battles is gonna be so cool. Pokemon ZA, the battle system in Pokemon ZA is gonna be as close as we've gotten to anime-style battles in the video games yet. Because even something like, Alright, I've procrastinated enough. Good luck, Foxy. Are you going to bed? Pokken? Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. So, Pokken... One could say Pokken, but here's the thing. I don't think Pokken is quite that way, because I believe the... Oh, you're doing your own gaming. Gotcha, gotcha. So when it comes to Pokken, I believe with the way the premise works, you're using this, like, you're using the, like, little headpiece thing, and more so taking control of the Pokemon, or, like, I guess syncing with the Pokemon. So it's not quite the same as the battles like the anime. Also, with the way the structure is, you know, they're structured like a fighting game, not like the Pokemon battles. I guess the one exception is if you were to do tag battles, but still, it doesn't... I don't think it's the same. I wouldn't put them on the same level. As much as I love Pokken. Yo, Volk, welcome. Still need a team instead of just one Mon. Yeah, so as I was just saying, yeah, if you do the tag battles, which are basically like 3v3s, that's kind of the closest you will get to that. But even then, when does Pokemon become a Series 4 of Digimon? I am so unfamiliar with Digimon. I think I watched like Season 1 back when I was a kid on TV. And I think I even rewatched some of it. The dub for that is so fucking funny. But anything past that, I have no clue about, like, story or characters or even, like, exactly how the Digivolves work. Which is funny because I think I did have one of the versions of the Digivices. Doing the Masuda method for shiny hunting? Yes, I am. I previously made a bunch of eggs, and I'm just kind of, like, going through them, hoping for the best. So, like, ones that I've got, I have Fennekin, I have Vulpix, I've got Oshawott, and I've got some Quaxley all mixed in here. I just got done with a bunch of Fennekin and Vulpix. Haven't had any luck yet. I still have a couple boxes of eggs left. But yeah, I wasn't originally planning on streaming tonight because my plan for tonight was, like, I needed to make a bunch of cookies to prepare for the bowling event tomorrow, but I managed to get done with that fairly early. Pokken underrated, should have gotten more love. Yes! Oh my god, 100%. I love Pokken. I'm so disappointed that they were so ripe for adding, like, another set of Pokemon via DLC, but we just never got anything. And I love the amount of, like, the designs for the... I mean, the Pokemon designs are the same, but with the way they have them animated, along with the art style, I love that they also use, like, the anime style, like, voices for them. I thought that was really done very well. And my brain just spat out an insanely ambitious Pokemon game idea. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but a 3D action RPG. Ooh. Now that sounds interesting. They even copying some animations from Tekken itself. Did they? Huh. I mean, I am unfamiliar with Tekken. It's not a series that I've played much. I've played some fighting games here and there. Like, mostly Street Fighter. But, I mean, you know, they put breaks in. They put breaks in Pokken, so I had to play it. Pikachu does something similar to the character, if I remember, regular Pikachu or Pikachu Libre? If I find another fucking shiny Cubchoo. Regular, okay. Oh, with my idea, your Pokemon moves can be treated like weapons that you can swap. Oh yeah. So with ZA, so many people, some people are saying that Pokemon ZA is kind of like, oh shit, those aren't items. Pokemon ZA is kind of like Pokemon, but plays like Xenoblade. I kind of see it, you know, with the moves being like on cooldowns. I'm very excited to try that. I actually saw something about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon making a good roguelike. Ooh. That is a game that I should probably play on stream. I have the 3D... I have the Switch remake of it. I don't remember how far I got into it. Oh, yeah. There's some... there's been some footage. So, it basically works like... once you engage in a Pokemon battle, you move around and your Pokemon will kind of follow you. When you use the attacks, you know, some of them need to, like, aim or charge up, but, you know, all your moves are on cooldowns. And apparently, your speed stat doesn't actually affect how fast the Pokemon moves. Instead, the speed stat affects how fast your cooldowns refresh. I played it once, got as far as Luxray, struggled. In Pokemon Mystery Dungeon? I don't know if I don't know when I played if I got to Mystery Dungeon. Or if I got to Luxray in Mystery Dungeon, but I feel like if I did play that one on stream, I might just start over. I don't think I made enough progress to, like, consider just continuing from there. Whereas, like, when I played the Kirby DLC yesterday, and I could have started over, but I already 100%ed the original game, so I'm like, I'll just start from... I'll just play the DLC content, just continue my save file, and go from there. It still ended up being about, like, almost 5 hours of content. For 20 bucks, that's not bad, especially since it increases the visuals and frame rate for the base game. It might have been more worthwhile to someone who is just getting into the game for the first time, or for someone who has only made some progress into the game, and then they can experience the whole game with the enhanced visuals and frame rate, and then also the DLC stages. You hide behind a rock, and Luxray says, "There's nowhere you can hide." And I was like, "Oh no." Yeah, I don't think I ever got that far. The next Pokemon Mystery Dungeon has to have online play, or just straight up be either semi-open world or free movement rather than the typical grid movement. We will have to see. That is, if we get another Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Here's the thing that I've kind of noticed. Pokemon hasn't really been too interested in doing many spin-off side games. We have Legends Arceus and Legends ZA are kind of side games. It's been almost 10 years since the last new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, and I believe most of the Pokemon side games are more so being developed for mobile games. I mean, Pokemon has been doing so many mobile games, it's almost disgusting. Even some of the games that do get released on Switch, are also being released on mobile. Like, you know, there was the Pokemon Friends, Pokemon Unite. Oh, sorry for making y'all feel old. Oh, don't worry about that. I mean, if I could play Chibi Robo and remind myself that the game is 20 years old. And that was a game that came out when I was still growing up. I never played Chibi Robo, so I've only been experiencing it for the first time now. I have mixed feelings about the game. The best I can say about Chibi Robo is it is extremely charming. It is a very interesting concept and premise, and the story has me intrigued. But the gameplay is very slow to get started, quite clunky, and there are so many situations of the game stopping you and interrupting your gameplay to do little things that are unnecessary and just seem to be wasting the player's time. So it's been a real struggle because I want to play the game, I want to experience the story, I want to, you know, get the full experience. I want to at least finish it. I have no intention of, like, going 100% completion on it, but I want to at least get through it. But it's been a little bit of a struggle because of so many of the smaller factors. I never played Chibi Robo, but I've heard good things mostly. Same! And that's why I was so eager to try it out. But the more I'm playing of it, like, man, maybe a lot of people's opinions are based on nostalgia. Because I'm playing it and I'm like, you know, I could see me forgiving a lot of the annoying things that it's doing if I did play it when I was a kid. You know, when I'm a kid, I have a ton of time. I can spend a lot of time in the game and not be too bothered by little interruptions and whatnot. But I'm an adult. I have shit to do. I have responsibilities. I only have a limited time for gaming. So when I'm trying to, like, clean I'm trying to clean the stains in the game, I clean a couple stains and I get stopped. It's like, oh, Chibi Robo, you get a bonus for cleaning an arbitrary number of things. Here's some happy points and some money. It's like, okay, cool. And then I clean, like, 5 more stains, and it's like, oh, you get another bonus, and it has to, like, go through that again. And then it does that so many times. Like, okay, you could do this maybe, like, the first couple times, but you really gotta stop doing this after, like, 5 or 6 or 20. Like, you're wasting my time. Just, you know, just give me the bonus. You don't have to stop me and tell me you're giving me a bonus every time. Please, please. Also, hello, Trent. Welcome. You arrived mid-rant from me. Yes, we're talking about Chibi Robo, where we were talking about Pokemon. It has drifted over into Chibi Robo because we were talking about being old. And it was like, yeah. To be fair, kids are the target audience. Yes, that is fair. So, I mean, so then that tells you that the people who are praising it are people who did play the game as kids. So their views of it are clouded by that fact. You know, they are opinionated heavily based on nostalgia. I'm not saying it's a bad game in any sense. I'm just saying that there are a lot of little small factors that make it less enjoyable. And if those could get addressed, like, we have not gotten a proper sequel to Chibi Robo in the same style of gameplay. All of the other Chibi Robo games that we've gotten have been drastically different in how they play. They are nowhere near the original in terms of the mechanics and settings and premise. All of it's different. And I'm not sure exactly why. But I don't know. Maybe it was just because it didn't sell well enough. It's a very beloved game for people, apparently. But yeah, Luxray as a Mega Evo, I'm thinking Bolt stripes on the main. Ooh. That would be so cool. I should not be getting my hopes up for a Luxray evolution, though. It would go so hard. It would be so cool, I bet. But probably shouldn't be. That's not. No, okay. I don't recall what Shiny Snom looks like. I thought I'd check just in case. Also, I need to swap out Pokemon. It's so easy for me to forget that I've hatched the Pokemon that I have in my inventory, and I need to actually swap them out. So I'm just like carting around and not paying attention. I'm more looking for random shinies than focusing on the ones that I have in my box. I don't get why Pokemon wouldn't want Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Of all the spin-offs, that's got to be one of the most successful. Maybe they don't know what to do with the series. I mean, they made a remake for it on Switch, but, you know, maybe they can't think of ways to innovate or make it new. Then again, it's not like Pokemon really focuses so much on innovation when it comes from game to game. They're not quite like Nintendo, who have done nothing with something like F-Zero or Star Fox because they just don't know what to do with the series. I want a new Star Fox game. I'm so worried about what they would do with it, though. I mean, after... Hope your day was good. Saw those cookies, and I'm sure it was tiring. I don't even know how many I made. I took the recipe and quadrupled it. I filled 2 giant tubs with cookies. They don't seem to have that problem with Metroid, though. Yeah. Yeah. God, I can't wait for Metroid Prime 4. Oh my god, I just remembered that. Okay. Rumor time. We're going to keep talking about more speculations and shit. Okay, so there have been talks, rumored, purported leaks and whatnot that are saying that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct in September, which, big shocker, Nintendo does Nintendo Directs in September usually, so that's not really a wild guess there. But there's a specific date that's been mentioned, and that is September 12th. So we may get a Nintendo Direct around there. The leak also purports that there will be release dates for Metroid Prime 4, and they also even mentioned that they will be having a specific Metroid Prime 4 Direct, kind of like how they did one for the other games, like, you know, Mario Kart and DK Bonanza and whatnot. Also, can I just say, the Kirby Air Riders Direct was fantastic, and so much of that was because of Sakurai. Sakurai's presentation style is always so entertaining. He goes into so much detail. He has a level of humor that is so refreshing. And when I was looking into discussions, someone described it like, they said that the Sakurai presentations are the least corporate presentations. And honestly, yeah, it feels like the Sakurai's fantastic. He is so knowledgeable with the gaming industry and making games and developing and whatnot. And he did that whole series, that whole YouTube series of different videos on making games and his experience in the industry. I need some tea. Hold on. I've been yapping a lot. Of course, it's a man who loves who's showing off a game he loves because he loves making games. Yes, thank you. That was the point I was getting to. Exactly that. Yeah, that we'd still have the same shit if Reggie was the. We'd have the same shit if Reggie was still CEO. Yeah. Oh, I really miss Iwata. Iwata was the same kind of way. He cared about making games. He cared about because it was his He was even like on his business card. I don't remember the exact quote, but like he said in his heart he's a gamer, and you know that you get someone who like Doug Bowser, who I think he previously worked for EA, which kind of just goes to show his mindset coming into it. Like I don't think I've ever seen or heard about Doug Bowser playing games, so yeah. Let's see. The way he geeked out over showing Terry Bogard being added in Smash, yeah. The Smash presentations were always so fun to watch because Sakurai loves showing off his work. He loves, you know, he has such a good time, fun time putting the characters into the game. Oh, he worked for EA first, immediate major red flag. Yeah, I don't think that many people actually know that. Yeah, Doug Bowser used to work for EA before he's became the CEO for Nintendo. I love that video so much. I don't remember that one specifically, but you know, just all of Sakurai's videos have always been. His presentations are just a delight. It was so fun seeing him like when he's playing Smash and trying to showcase the stuff. He's playing two controllers at the same time. Like the man is so dedicated to his craft. It's just fantastic. I love it. We have not had a single shiny. Not one from an egg, not a random one. Granted, I'm not, like, using a sandwich. If I was doing the sandwich method, I probably would have had several shinies by now. It started with him showing his portable Neo Geo console. Oh, yeah! The reason why corporate people shouldn't be in charge of something like game development. Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we get, whatever the hell was going on with Team Cherry and how they were able to just do what they wanted and just make their game. It took them so many years because they were just having fun with the process and just adding more and more to the game. They weren't under any kind of like crunch. They weren't under any kind of pressure. They just got to make the game that they want and have fun with it. I think I heard that like they wanted to even add more to it, but they eventually just decided we have to actually ship this thing. Let's finally like make it happen. Hollow Knight is another game that I probably should play. It's a game that I played a little bit of. I have it on Switch, and I played some of it. I didn't get too far into it. I don't remember why I stopped playing. I think it was either getting like too difficult for me, or I had other games going on, so I just kind of like dropped off. They only see money instead of passion and love to make the game They only see money instead of passion and love to make the game enjoyable for all. Yeah. Yeah. I played the first moment of that game. It's a great, responsive game. I feel like at this point, if I do want to play tight controls like Mega Man, yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about Hollow Knight, and you know, it's understandable why people would be so excited for Silksong after Hollow Knight doing as well as it did. If I do play that one, I probably would restart it because it's been long enough since I played it that I wouldn't remember where I was. So, and I'd have to totally refamiliarize myself with controls. I remember being okay at it, at least. I mean, it's essentially a Metroidvania. I don't quite have the same kind of excitement about Silksong as others do, mostly because I haven't finished, and I didn't finish and didn't play a whole lot of Hollow Knight. I acknowledge that it is a great game, but I just didn't really get around to it myself. Maybe I didn't get far enough into it, but it didn't really, like, click with me. And I'm not sure if it was, like, I don't want to say I wasn't having a good time with the game, but maybe I think I was lost. I got into a situation where I wasn't sure where I needed to go next. So that was a little frustrating. I feel like when it comes to the Metroidvania style games, there should at least be some kind of an option to sort of guide you where to go next, and or at least some kind of a hint option. I know a lot of those games are about discovery and figuring out where to go on your own after you, like, get new abilities and whatnot, but like I said, I'm getting old. I don't have as much time as I used to as a kid to, explore everywhere and do everything. Which is why I look at something like Donkey Kong Bonanza and how it handled the collectibles in that game. It's so good. Like, you could just wander around and find everything on your own. Or you can, like, find these maps that lead you to the location where some things are. It doesn't, in some cases, it doesn't just take you directly to it, because some of them do still require you, like, solve a puzzle, or, some of them you have to get to them, like, in a bit of a roundabout way. You can't just, like, dig directly to them. You can do that with, like, 90% of the, 90% of the bananas and fossils on the first map, but as you get farther down, traversal gets a little bit more complicated. You have to think a little bit more. Which is why it's been such an enjoyable game. And I need to finish it. I need to get back to it. That's a shiny Meryl. We finally found a shiny. No? Oh. Just stay on the ball. Give me that crit catch. Make it easy. Thank you. Cool. I wasn't expecting that. Let's put this one over with the other shinies. Actually, I'll put it at the end of this egg box. That way I can just remember I got it. My brain just thought of a name of the next stage in the Meowth line. Parisian. Ah. Part of me was going to say, isn't that too close to the previous name? But then I thought, no, they've absolutely done that shit with other Pokemon. What would it even look like or be like? So many great Nintendo games to try. I missed out on so much. If it isn't an FPS, I don't want it. It was an awful mindset growing up. Oh no!
Dynamite Dragon 1981 just followed.
Yo, Dynamite Dragon. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Hope you're doing well tonight. And yeah, Trent, funny you mentioned that. I was kind of the opposite. I didn't really have much of an interest in FPS games, like, at all. There were a couple of FPS games that I played. I think I did play... I didn't get into FPS games until, like, later on. But, like, earlier up... Let's see. Persian is to Arabia what Parisian is to France, so I imagine some fluffy flowing fur. Okay. I could see that. Wasn't there some other kind of, like, really fluffy cat Pokemon? Hi, how are you? I'm doing good. I've had a busy day today. I worked, and then I, Oh, it looks like we have an ad break going on right now. Sorry about that. I worked, and then I had a... Glammy-Out, thank you. That's the one I was thinking of. I worked, and then I made a bunch of cookies. So... I made a bunch of cookies because I'm going to a furry bowling event tomorrow, and I'm going to be bringing the cookies with me there to give out to everybody. So, originally I wasn't planning on streaming tonight, because I expected to be really tired after making all the cookies. Chocolate cookies with white chocolate chips, by the way. I've made them before. They are absolutely delicious. you know, you've got the nice chocolatey cookie, and then the white chocolate chips add a nice sort of creaminess to it, so it's like a cookies and cream sort of flavor. So yeah, they're really good and super easy to make. I mostly throw everything into my stand mixer, and it does most of the work. Also off topic, but can I say, speaking of air riders, look, I get Mario Kart World isn't probably going to be seen as the best Mario Kart. I think we just need more tracks and stuff, honestly, for intermission. But it's annoying seeing all these Sonic Crossworld versus Mario Kart memes with Kirby riders occasionally. Like, why can't we all be happy how good we're eating this year? Can't they all be good? Yeah, that's a good point. Like, so many people want to make everything a competition. Like, these games can exist on their own without terrible ad timing. Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I'm just yapping, so, let's see. I'm gonna wait. Yeah, that's fair. I try to be good about keeping on top of it. I'm just gonna wait a little bit for that to wrap up then. I'm gonna sip some of my tea while I wait. Yeah, I try to be good about, you know, taking breaks when the ads are coming up so it doesn't happen. But, you know, either I'm invested in a game and I'm not paying attention, or if I'm like yapping too much and talking with folks, I kind of like lose track that way. So I think the ad should be wrapped up by now. All the kids in my area had FPS games, and my thought process was that Nintendo is for babies. God, it was dumb. You are not the only one that thought that. Yeah, that was an unfortunate mindset that a lot of people had around that day. 2000s mentality towards Nintendo. Yep. There are some people that still see that nowadays, which is kind of sad. Like, obviously Nintendo is past that. They're trying to branch out. Yes, Nintendo has a primary audience of younger people, but I mean, when you take into consideration how many people grew up with Nintendo and just have continued to play Nintendo games, even outside of like, I mean, look at the Kirby game, for example. I don't know how many of you. I played that Kirby DLC yesterday, and yes, people see Kirby as a baby game. If you saw the fucking boss fight that I had to do there at the end, like, how do you expect little Timmy to be able to do that? Like, for real, seriously? Yeah, the Kirby games are deceptively difficult. You know, they are they do such a good job of easing you into it, and I felt it was the same way with Bonanza. Bonanza was very easy early on, and even a lot of the boss fights weren't much of a challenge at all. But it's the difficulty curve was very steep there at the end. you get to the last couple of sections, and then suddenly it's like, oh, it's ramped up, and then, you know, you get to the post game and it's even further. Nintendo does a good job of making the game easy enough so people can, you know, enjoy the base game, but then at the end is when they start throwing the challenges at you, really testing your limits and making sure you understand the mechanics and you know, apply what you've learned throughout your time playing the game. Unfortunately, I was in the 2000s mindset for a while. Yeah, that happens. At least you're not still in that mindset. There are some people that are still in that mindset to this day. And say what you want, but I don't hear nearly as much nostalgia talk about as many PlayStation or Xbox games as Nintendo games. Yes! I completely agree with you on that. Now, I'm not sure how much of that is just because I am primarily a Nintendo person myself, but, you know, there are... I think the biggest factor is the exclusives. Nintendo has so many different exclusives compared to other franchises, or the other, like, competitors. You know, yes, Sony and Xbox do have some of their own exclusives, but Nintendo has just such a wide list, a long list of their own exclusive games. The other companies don't come anywhere close in regards to the number of exclusives and how many people know of all those types of exclusives. So I think that is a big part of it. Nintendo has a bunch of IPs. They have a bunch of things that are exclusive to their games. A list and a variety of games. Yeah, that's another thing, yeah. So many of the different games have different styles. Even in the same genre, or even in the same series, you get a bunch of different types of games. Like, Mario alone, you've got the platforming Mario games. You have Mario RPG games. You have Mario sports games. You have Mario Kart racing games. You know, it's such a huge variety. If it originated on the Nintendo, it's more than likely a Nintendo exclusive. Yeah, true. Oh, my throat. Mario invented the kart racer. Here's a fun fact. I believe it was in the gaming historian video. There's a gaming historian video about the history of Mario Kart. Mario Kart wasn't originally going to be Mario Kart. It was just going to be a kart racer. But then, in order for them to, like, differentiate the characters more, they decided, it's like, hey, we have this IP, we have the Mario characters, why don't we use those? And that's when it then became Mario Kart. So it was just going to be a regular kart racer before they made it into Mario Kart specifically. And then it's all history from there. You know, little decisions like that can sometimes go such a long way that, you don't think too much about... Well, I'm no game designer. I don't really know what kind of thought process these developers have and whatnot. But it's so interesting to see how little concepts or just, like, small design decisions can make such a huge difference in the long run. Didn't Mario Kart also almost not even exist too? Like, they almost pulled the plug on it? I think you might be right. I think there was some aspect of it they were kind of struggling with. One of my favorite Mario Kart game is Super Circuit. That's the last Mario Kart game I would expect anyone to say is their favorite. Okay, you gotta elaborate. Why is Super Circuit your favorite? I remember playing Super Circuit, and I remember it being okay. I have all three side... then the new Xbox S. I only have the new Xbox S. Yeah, Super Circuit rarely comes up in Mario Kart discussions, right? It's not that much different than Super Mario Kart. God, the bit-crushed sound voice clips from that game, oh. How many more eggs do I have left? Okay, I'm gonna try to finish the boxes. I'm gonna try to finish hatching all of the eggs, and then I'll probably end it for the night. So I might have another, like, 20 minutes or so, depending on how quickly I get through the eggs. My throat is starting to get a little sore from all the talking. And I do need to make sure I get some decent rest before the bowling tomorrow. It's either OG Mario Kart, 64, Double Dash, Wii, or 8. I just love the track designs in that game in particular, and the track hazards are well presented. You know, I never really thought of that, but that does make sense. they did their best with, 2D assets and Mode 7. Plus, the soundtrack is excellent, in my opinion. I don't remember much the soundtrack personally, but, I mean, I want to say that there are some tracks that have been remixed from that into World, which Mario Kart World has such a stellar soundtrack. So many remixed songs, rearrangements, some songs that they've even, like, made into different types of genres of songs. They took the Baby Park song and made it like an EDM mix. It's crazy. And it works. Bowser's Castle and Super Circuit, fantastic. Yeah. Is Super Circuit in the NSO? Might need to check that. I don't think... It might be, actually. If you know the white Xbox S, I don't have... I have the Xbox X. It has the GIS on it. I'm not familiar. I've never had an Xbox myself. My brother had an Xbox 360, and I remember playing that quite a bit. Mostly Guitar Hero 2. 2 and 3. Loved Guitar Hero. I've been a Nintendo guy all my life. I did have a PlayStation for a while, and then more recently, I got I missed some choice racing games. Yeah, Xbox has a lot of good racing games, and I've started to really appreciate more racing games. Also, hello, bro. Xbox naming is really weird with the newer consoles. Yeah, that certainly is a choice. Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and whatnot. It just... Sony is the only one that has been like very consistent with their naming convention, whereas the other companies, even Nintendo as well, the fucking new 3DS XL, I hate that shit. That is so dumb. Like, why new? Why don't you, why couldn't you have like thrown back to like go Super, you know? PGR was the shit. Hey, bro. Fucking Forza on PS5. What the fuck, though? Never thought I'd see it. I started with the 360, then to the newer one. New 3DS XL and Knuckles. We don't bring up the Wii U. I had the Wii U. I had, that was where Pokken first debuted. I was one of the few that actually did get the game on there. Then I also got it on Switch. Oh, I keep forgetting to switch out my Pokemon. My current platforms, I have the Nintendo... I still have my original Nintendo Switch. Haven't really used it at all lately. I'm currently on my Nintendo Switch 2. And then I do have a PlayStation 5, which was generously given to me by a very close friend of mine. And one of the first games that I played on that was Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh my goodness, it was so nice. Finally being able to play that game. And then I got Rebirth as well. Just so fucking good. Nintendo already knows the mistake for naming that. Yeah. I think Nintendo really learned from the Wii U. They learned the hard way. You also have a PS5. Nice, yeah. PS5 is great. I'm very happy with it. When I got... For the longest while, the Switch was my only gaming platform. I do have a PC now. When my neighbor moved out... when my neighbor was gonna move out, before he did, he got a new PC. And then he, got some parts, and he gave me his old PC, so I'm using that right now for the streaming and occasional games. But my platforms right now are my Switch 2, PS5, and the PC. But for the longest while, I only had a Nintendo Switch for my gaming. So I had to suffer through some really rough frame rates for games. Like, I played through both of the Subnautica games on Switch. I played through Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on Switch 1, it was so bad. It was rough. I've suffered so much when it comes to, like, you know, gaming, dealing with, like, crap performance. Now though, I'm still getting Switch. My Switch 2 is primarily for the exclusives. For any multi-platform game, I'm most likely going to get it on PS5. I've traversed the hill. Yeah, I have suffered through the slowest of frame rates. I've slogged through them, and now I finally get to experience the good stuff. Gotta go, 1% battery. All right, Glint, take care. Hope you're able to get some good rest. Appreciate you stopping by. Dang, these other Pokemon stopping me. One more to hatch. I found one shiny Pokemon tonight, and it was just a random shiny Marill. This is why I do... This is, though, why I do the wandering around as I'm shiny hunting, or hatching eggs, at least. I have Switch 1, old LED... OLED LED, a Switch 1 and Switch 2. Wait. So, okay, I think I understand it. Oh, the Fortnite performance. I do. Oh, I remember that. That was so rough. Ugh. Trying to play Rocket Racing on there sucked. So many times it would just, like, freeze. Or it would, like, have a lag spike, and so many times, if that shit happens when I'm in the middle of a fight, I'm dead. There's nothing I can do about it. You know, I'm just probably standing there for, like, a whole second. So, yeah, my Switch 2 is now mostly for the Nintendo exclusives, and then for most multi-platform games, I go for my PS5. Yeah, it was rough. I tell you what, when I first booted up Fortnite on the PS5, seeing the difference between it on there and it on Switch was just like night and day. Like, oh my god, I could not believe I had been suffering on that for so long. It's kind of the same with this game. This game played on Switch 1 sucks. Scarlet and Violet played so badly on Switch 1. I couldn't even, despite me having as much fun with the games as I did, I couldn't recommend them to anyone because they just played so horribly. There were times where I was, in this area, like, specifically, the frames would get down to single digits. And it would, like, hurt my eyes to try to, like, explore around here because it would just look so bad. The frame rates would be so inconsistent and so low. Yeah, Fortnite on Switch 1, you can't see anything. Yeah, it's so bad. Paid $500 for that damn thing. It's getting used. I feel like I've gotten a lot of good use out of both of my systems. I'm really enjoying the enhanced performance of games on Switch 2. I do like a lot of the exclusives. I did get the new Pro Controller. It's very nice. I do like the programmable back buttons. I really haven't had controllers that have that, so it was a little bit new for me, but it was so easy to program them, and I found it to be very useful in a wide variety of games. Like for this one, I have them bound to, one is for just getting on and off Miraidon, and then the other one is for the dash. So it's, yeah, the back buttons are so nice. And the sticks are super smooth. They feel so good. Ugh. You know, I might have to just grab a lozenge. My throat is starting to get a little rough. The tea only did so much. Okay, I have a lozenge. Apologies if you hear me, like, sucking on it. Ugh. Again, I believe it is because I've had to have my AC on for most of the night. It's been a little cooler today, but it's still warm enough that I have to keep the AC going. So it's probably a combination of that and maybe some allergies. Anybody seen the Crossworld animation? The irony is marked for kids. Crossworld? Oh, are you talking about, this... Are you talking about Kirby? You're talking about the Star-Crossed World? Sonic Crossworld. Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen that. That's the new Sonic Racing game that's coming out, right? Gotcha, okay. I have not checked that out. I might have to look into it, though. Oh, once again, forgetting to swap out my Pokemon. I think this is... Okay, this is the last full box. I'm actually going to go to another region while I wander about. If you do, you'll see why it's marked for kids are ironic. See you around going to bed. Alright. Sounds good, Dynamic Dragon. Thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate the follow. Hope you stop by for some of the other streams we do later on. Probably... I probably won't be live tomorrow. But I don't know. If I'm not too tired after the bowling, we'll see. It might be another short stream. But I'm not going to make any promises. I haven't had a day off from streaming in a while. I enjoy it, so I'm going to keep doing it. Alrighty. Sounds good. Take care. See you later. I want this... I don't know if I have any more Fennekin or Vulpix eggs left. I think most of the rest of the ones that I have here are going to be... Okay. So I think the Love Ball... Wait, the Love Ball ones might be. Okay, yeah. So the Oshawotts, I have them in a Beast Ball. The Quaxley are in just regular Pokeball. So I have an idea of what are in these based on the Pokeball, at least. I guess spoilers for that, at least. I don't know if I have any shinies amongst these. But we'll see. I've gotten all of the... So far, you know, prior to doing so on stream, I have gotten a shiny Sprigatito and a shiny Fuecoco. But Quaxley is the only one of the three I have yet to get a shiny of. So I've been slowly trying to get one via hatching method. I mean, it's kind of the only method I can use right now. I'm not going to go onto Pokemon Go to try to get one. Fuck that. I'm so done with Pokemon Go. I can't deal with all the monetization bullshit and forcing you to play every day type stuff. It's just so predatory and time consuming. I can't deal with it. I had plenty of fun with it back in the day. But nah. I remember the zeitgeist of when it first came out. Everyone was outside. Everyone was going around. It was such a craze. It was insane. it was like one of those few moments in history where like everyone kind of just comes together to enjoy a thing. And I cannot remember when we've had another situation like that. The pandemic was kind of like the inverse of that. Everyone's suffering together. I mean, I guess the next closest thing would be maybe the release of Animal Crossing New Horizons. That came out at like the perfect time. You know, everyone was at home, couldn't leave their houses because of the pandemic, and then, you know, a cozy game that you can play and, you know, build a town, and you could still like invite friends in the game and hang out together in the game. Oh my goodness.
Stoker Bramwell is crashing the party with 17 viewers.
Stoker Bramwell, thank you so much. Oh, hey, Warbird. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, hello, Raiders. Welcome. Oh my gosh. Thank you all so much. So for anyone here for the first time, I'm FoxyDude. I also go by CJ. I am a Seattle-based streamer, furry. I primarily play Nintendo games, but I also do have some PlayStation 5 and PC games. I'm a PNG tuber, as you can see, and yeah, thank you so much. Hello, ooh, oh, and all that, Tommy Rot. Well, welcome. You are. I super appreciate y'all coming by. Right now, you know, it's funny. I wasn't actually planning on streaming today. My day has been pretty crazy. You know, I worked my 8 hours at my job, and then I had to spend a bunch of time afterwards. So I'm going to
Artemis the Fox Dragon 85 just followed.
Artemis the Fox Dragon, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. So tomorrow I'm going to a furry bowling event, and to prepare for that, I was making cookies today. I made a huge batch of chocolate cookies with white chocolate chips. So I'd expected that was going to just take me a lot of time and I would be tired after doing all of that, but I managed to get finished with it early enough and still had enough energy that I thought, you know what, I'll do some streaming. I'll do some shiny hunting, because I already prepared a bunch of Pokemon eggs, and I figure I can wander around the different areas while hatching the eggs and maybe get a shiny or two. So far, I've only gotten one random shiny so far. I found a shiny Meryl. Haven't had much luck with the eggs. I'm trying to hatch for a shiny Fennekin, shiny Oshawott, shiny Alolan Vulpix, or shiny, the Quaxley. So I have mixed in a bunch of eggs amongst those, but haven't had any luck with those. Yeah, thank you so much, all of you. Super appreciate y'all stopping by. I have been streaming almost every day. So if you are enjoying what you're seeing and you want to see more, I've been playing through other games such as Chibi Robo. My first time playing through that game. I didn't play through it originally when it first came out, so I'm experiencing it for the first time recently. And then I still have post-game content to go through for Donkey Kong Bonanza. I've also recently played some Helldivers with friends. I'll probably be doing some more of that when the additional content drops on September 2nd. And then I'm also really looking forward to Pokemon Legends ZA. A lot of this stream so far today has been just yapping about various Pokemon stuff. I've been a Pokemon fan since the original Red and Blue days, so I have opinions. I wouldn't call myself a Gen 1er by any stretch of the definition, but I like a lot of things about Pokemon, and you know, it's one of the series that I've been with so much, and it's I am really liking what I'm seeing with Pokemon Legends ZA, and I'm hopeful because I did enjoy Legends Arceus, so I believe that Legends ZA should be a good time as well. So yeah, looking forward to that. Hope y'all are doing well. What was Stroke? Sorry, that it took me a while to ask this. Stoker, what were you playing? Maybe I can check that. Let me see if I can just go to your channel. Resident Evil? Looks like. Ah, Resident Evil, such a good series. Which one were you playing, though? Resident Evil 2, and then Garbage Bad Dream Adventure. I've not heard of the second one, but Resident Evil 2, I know that's a classic. The first Resident Evil game that I played was the GameCube one. I didn't play the original on PlayStation, mostly because, well, like I said, I grew up a Nintendo kid, so if it didn't come out on a Nintendo platform, I didn't get to play it. I finally did get around to playing Final Fantasy VII, in my late teens when I got a used PS1. I also played some Final Fantasy VIII as well, but I never finished that one. But yeah, hopefully your stream went well. I take it you're into horror games. I haven't not usually much into them. The closest thing I've done to a horror game is Voices of the Void, which is another game I have played a ton of. And I'm waiting for more recent updates on that so I can experience it, because like I'm at a point right now with Voices of the Void where I've experienced most of the stuff of what there is, so you know there aren't really any new surprises. There's no new things to scare me, and if a horror game isn't spooky, then you know kind of what's the point? I was a Sega kid, though I do like Nintendo games too. Yeah, I feel like Sega and Nintendo, despite them being like in so close competition themselves, there were probably a lot of overlap between kids who had both, or at least enjoyed both. I did get I think I did get a Genesis. In addition to having an NES and an SNES. I did get a Genesis before the N64. I didn't have much of a library, but, I mean, you gotta be able to play the Sonic games at the very least. I'm still hoping for a shiny. Whoa, what's going on here? Okay, I'm just getting taken away by the current. I wonder what the next Sonic game will be. Like the next, yeah, I wonder what they're gonna do with the series next. I mean, what the next, like, mainline Sonic game is gonna be. It's been quiet since Frontiers. I'm sure that there's someone working on it. It might be interesting if they go back to the 2D roots. God, can you imagine if we got another Sonic Mania style game? Oh, Sonic Mania was so good. The only Nintendo system I had as a kid was the OG Game Boy. My dad wasn't a huge Nintendo fan. Yeah, I had the OG Game Boy myself. Neither of my parents were much into games. My mom kind of wanted to get into games, mostly so she could better connect with myself and my brother, but my dad had like no interest. Oh, I see my buddy is playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. We were actually talking about that earlier. We were talking about how Pokemon hasn't really done much with the spin-off series, and how it would be really cool to get another Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. See, my earliest memories of Pokemon was getting the black and white drawing book where you learn to draw various starter Pokemon and watching one of those 80s cartoon episodes on VHS at my grandpa's house. Oh my god. I think I remember trying to record one of the old episodes of Pokemon on my VHS player. It goes to show how old I am. Yeah, I was watching the original show growing up and trying to record the episodes on VHS. Something about taking down Atari. Some said there were hints about Tails going on his own adventure for a change, so maybe Tails could get another solo title again after over 20 years. Wait, did he ever get his own solo title? I don't remember that. Yes, Tails has his own game a long time ago. Okay, I don't remember that at all. Which I'm actually kind of surprised, because I really like Tails. He was always one of my favorite characters from the series. Big shocker, I know, you know. I'm very biased when it comes to my animals. One of the things I was saying before, I fell out of Pokemon a little bit in the Black and White generation, but X and Y, when I heard that there was going to be a Fennec Fox starter Pokemon, I was sold. I didn't need to hear anything else about the game. I knew immediately. It was like, okay, well, I'm going to play this game and I'm going to love it. I had the Electric Tale of Pikachu comics as a kid. I don't think I was never much for comics. Aside from, well, one thing that interested me about, like, comics was the Sonic comics at the time, mostly because of Sally Acorn. Sally Acorn was one of my early furry crushes. Oh, my throat's feeling a little rough. Yours too? Hell yeah, hell yeah. Tails Adventure for the Sega Genesis released in 1995. Wow. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. I don't know if I had a Sega Genesis at that time, and I just didn't really hear much about the Sega games. I was focused so much on the Nintendo games. Oh wait, Tails actually had two games, Tails Adventures and Tails Sky Patrol. I haven't heard of either of these. My goodness. I'm learning so much tonight. Whew. How many more eggs do I have left? 2 more in this batch. This has been pretty nice. A lot more chill than hunting with the sandwich method. I might try to stockpile some more eggs again and do this another time, because this is really nice. It's very chill, and I feel like I can chat a lot better doing this kind of shiny hunting. Wouldn't mind some Sonic characters getting spin-off games again. I think Shadow the Hedgehog was the last time any character did. Yeah. We all love chill Pokemon times. Hell yeah. Honestly, I think it was watching people shiny hunting was what kind of got me into watching people on Twitch. And it got me into, doing shiny hunting myself. Y'all know that when Pokemon Legends ZA drops, I'm going to be all over that. I will be live with it immediately. As soon as I can figure out how to shiny hunt one particular Pokemon in Legends ZA, I'm going to. I'm really eager to see what the process is like in regards to shiny hunting. Because it varies so much from game to game. There's little details, like just how the Pokemon spawn, and what the rates are, and things you can do to mitigate them, or some that are like shiny locked. My favorite part about Shadow is this pump action AR. No, I don't have that patience or attention span for shiny hunting. Barely even have it to complete the decks. I love it. There's a sense of zen to it. So, okay. The big reason why I like shiny hunting is the anticipation, the build-up, and then the surprise of it actually happening. When you're going for a specific Pokemon, it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience to get that Pokemon. It's always a matter of patience. As long as you're patient enough with it, you will get the Pokemon. You will get the shiny. And then when you finally do get it, you get that like rush of adrenaline, the excitement that you finally got it. And then when you're just kind of going about like this and you find a random shiny Pokemon, there's also it's a different kind of excitement, but it's still there. You get the rush of finding a rare shiny Pokemon. It's like, oh shit, it's a rare Pokemon, a shiny Pokemon. That's like at least my thought process, my view on it. Obviously, the experience is going to be different from person to person, but that's just how I view it and how it is to me. Oh fuck! Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. I totally forgot to give a shout out to Stoker when he raided. I don't know if he's still here, but I'm still gonna give him a shout out. I'm sorry, I'm not used to, I don't get raided too often, I forget. I'm so sorry. I need to be better about that. This is why I also need mods to help me out, because I forget to do this shit on my own. My brain is kind of frazzled today as well. I've had a pretty long day. I've been up since 4:30 a.m. That's my usual get up time to get ready for work, just to give you an idea of how long I've been up. It's a neat concept, and holy moly, the math some shiny hunters do is staggering. Yes, it is very impressive, and I appreciate the people who do the hard work finding those stats. I don't have the patience to do that myself, but I mean, a lot of them look up. They're able to look at the data and look at the code sometimes and find out the information that way. But the Pokemon hunting, shiny hunting is definitely like there's a community to it. People come together to like figure out kind of things. It's gonna be really tough for me when Pokemon Legends ZA comes out, because I'm going to want to. How am I going to want to figure out that kind of shit on my own, or am I going to want to look up some details about it? Like, it's going to be real tough to like toe that line. It's like, how much do I want to look into versus how much do I want to discover on my own? And then if I do look into it, I have to worry about am I going to get spoiled on anything? It's just going to be. I won't know until it actually happens, until it shows up, but we shall see. But I will be live with that when it does drop. Absolutely expect me to play that on stream. There's a lot of games that I could continue as well. I need to do more. I haven't even played all of the different games in UFO 50. There's a lot of other games in that I haven't tried. It's kind of tough finding the time for all of the games that I want to play. I've been trying to avoid live service style games, or at least I don't want to play any of those on stream. I just don't feel like those have the kind of... I would have trouble playing those on stream and chatting like I do with like these types of games. Also, so many of those types of live service games, I feel like some of them I'm playing out of obligation rather than for fun. Like, I still play Fortnite now and then, but I'm not actually playing... I cheese it so much. there's a trick that I can do in using my Switch, and I play on PS5 and I use another account on Switch, and basically it lets me play bot matches, so I can like focus on the challenges without having to worry about other players, and then like all of the opponents are just bots. So, you know, I can get the wins, and or I can like take my time and go to certain areas or do specific challenges much more easily. Because sometimes trying to do a specific challenge when dealing with actual other players who are also trying to kill you or also do those same challenges, sometimes it's just not fun, and it just makes me angry. Which is why I've been leaning further and further away from PvP style games. I'm not a competitive person, and in the past I was really bad at I would be a really bad sore loser. So it's one of the things that I've kind of tried to better myself with, but part of that is like just acknowledging that PvP games aren't really my thing, so it's best if I try to avoid them for the most part. So I'll play like more single player games or like co-op style stuff. Like I had a great time playing Helldivers with the homies. Also on that note, for those who are still sticking around, if you are enjoying the stream and you want to see more, make sure to hit the follow button. I do go live most evenings, usually like early evening-ish, since I am on the West Coast. So I'm typically going live around like 4 or 5 p.m. and I only go I'll typically go until like 9, maybe 10 p.m. most nights. I stream more nights than I don't. And for any of the streams that you do miss, or if you want to like see some of the other games that I have been playing, I have a YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/@FoxyDude, and I upload the high quality versions of all of my streams there. So if you want to see other games that I've been playing, see some of the other series, get an idea for what it is that I do, highly recommend checking that out. The Helldiver stream was really fun. Yeah, oh my god, I got some really good clips out of that too, because Lucy, with her chaotic fennec energy, that was crazy. Just, she caused so much chaos. Her taking the mines to the one area. The mines. God, the mines. I remember when I was trying to call in, like, a backpack and a machine gun for you, and she dove into me, and it ended up sticking the stratagem to me, and then I got killed by my own stratagem pod. It's just... Oh. She had over 11,000... friendly fire damage at the end of that game. It was crazy. Oh yeah, I got absolutely squished. It was fun though. It was funny, so I can't be too mad about it. I was getting a little bit miffed at the constantly dealing with like all of the... We lost so many requisition slips because of her mines killing so many of the Sief soldiers and citizens. Just... Oh god. I hope she had a good time doing all of that. It was, and I hope it was at least fun for folks to watch. How the whole squad got vaporized. Yup. I had the shield backpack too, but like it only does so much. I hope that my suffering was to your enjoyment. Honestly, yeah. I mean, when you're a streamer, you have to expect that there is going to be a level of people fucking with you. You got to play into the content sometimes. It's something that I'm trying to be a little bit better at as well. So many times I will play games more seriously, and I gotta recognize it's not always gonna be all that fun to watch. You should get yourself an egg power. It'll hatch eggs faster. You're right. I forgot that it makes the eggs hatch faster. Thank you for that. Also, welcome first time chatter. I'm almost done with these though, so it wouldn't make sense for me to do it at this point, but I will try to remember that for future times when I'm doing this. I am using at least a Pokemon that does have warm body, so that's at least helping a little bit with the speeding it up. All right, good night, Warbird. Take care. Activates personal hell bomb next to squad mates. Vibe check. Yeah, that's how the term stream sniping was created. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's not really stream sniping though if I'm playing if I'm playing with 4 friends. So, but I don't really play many online games where I could be stream sniped. The bugs and bots are pretty neat, but the Illuminate were a bit much. A lot going on at once. Yeah, the Illuminate are not my... The Illuminate are my least favorite to fight. I wanted to fight them for 2 reasons. 1, because there was a personal order for extracting from 3 missions, and 2, so you had at least... So you could at least experience them once. I do like fighting the bugs and bots much better. The bots are a nice challenge because you have to deal with them actually shooting you, but they don't have the kind of crazy numbers that the bugs do. And as long as you know how to, hit their weak spots, they're a lot easier to deal with. Even when you have tanks to deal with. That's why I keep the ultimatum on me. Really, the term mostly applies to FPS and MOBAs where the enemy can't tell you where you are. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's not like if I were to play some kind of game like that, I probably would be stream sniped pretty easily. I'm pretty amateur when it comes to shooters and whatnot, so yeah. Partly why I don't typically play shooters. And I haven't played a MOBA since, I played some Pokemon Unite, but it's just the same kind of crap. Need to do some more grinding to get better equipment. Yeah, yep, that's true, that's true. We will play it some more together when the new content drops. September 2nd, they are, there's another set of content that will be coming along. So we'll try to get a group set up together and play it some more there. Except Splatoon, because, I mean, come on, it's Splatoon. I mean, I was not built for those missions. Yeah. So Splatoon, I like Splatoon, but again, it is, at its core, a PvP game. So it is one of the games where I can get salty. Which is why when I do play Splatoon, I typically prefer to play Salmon Run. I have 1 egg left to hatch. Watch the last one be the shiny. That would be something else, wouldn't it? Are you really stream sniping for Splatoon? Like, that's more pathetic than annoying. Yeah, actually, that would be You would also have to just also make sure you would also have to be lucky to just get on the opposite team rather than on the same team, because you don't get to pick your team unless you are doing like full squad versus like full squad, but I don't imagine you're going to be streaming if you're going to be doing that, right? If it counts, Unite makes me rage. It made me rage too. So I could not. I tried it and it was fun initially, but then when people really started to sweat in it, then I'm like, okay, no, I'm done. I can't do this. It was also a very grindy game. Didn't really feel like it was rewarding. And then you got the fucking $40 skins. $40 skins. That is crazy. That is egregious. Our last egg. The duck is not shiny. How many eggs was that? Let me see here. So it was 1 box, 2, so 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 191. 191 eggs of various Pokemon, no shiny, which I think that tracks. Pseudo method isn't it 1 in 510? Which isn't great odds. But, I mean, that's the only way I'm going to be able to get a Quaxley. And it's my best odds for getting Fennekin and Alolan Vulpix. I can't get Alolan Vulpix in this game since I'm on Violet. Follow that with the fact that the closed coupons haven't had any updates since release, nor the costume coupons. They haven't even changed out the ones you can buy with them. Yeah, good game, hella greedy. They'll add new Pokemon and new Hollowware for you to buy, though. Of course. I wonder if I got any 6 IVs among these. Because some of these should have the, with the parents that I was using for these, they should have the hidden ability as well as 6 IVs. Of course, with the way the breeding works, I'm still only going to be getting, at best... Well, I have the possibility of getting 6 IVs, but more often than not, it's going to be 5 IVs. Oh, here we go. 1 6 IV. Does it have the hidden ability, though? No, it does not. There's another 6 IV. I don't think this one has... I don't have a Quaxley with the hidden ability, though, so that's fine. I don't think the hidden ability Pokemon have been released yet for this one. Oh, I don't pay attention to IVs, but then again, I'm the same person who gets mad when people hate on Pokemon just because they're not viable competitively. Yeah, I don't... I'm not that kind of person at all. I don't really care about the competitive nature, but when I'm going through the effort of, like, trying to shiny hunt for Pokemon, I kind of feel like I might as well go the extra mile and, go for the stats and whatnot. At least, this game makes it stupid easy to train up the Pokemon to get them competitively viable if you want. You can do... What's it called? There's the vitamins and the bottle caps being so easy to get in this game. So, hyper training is no problem. There's ability capsules and ability patches, so even if you don't get the ability you want, you can adjust that. Mints as well. They've made it very... God, I hate that Chikorita got, but the hate Chikorita got was just unfair. Oh, an ad? Ah, dang it. Sorry about that, folks. Once again, Was not paying attention to the time. And the ad. I'll chill until the ad's over. I mean, I'm just yapping and looking at Pokemon. Would you say, looking back now, that this game is not that bad? This game got a lot of flack for the performance. That was the game's biggest flaw. It still has some issues regarding, like, the textures and environments are kind of lacking. It's still not the best looking visually. At least it's stable now. I will say that much. It's stable. But, I mean, the Nintendo Switch 2 version, at least specifically, because it does fix the performance, which was the biggest issue that I had with the game, I would say, yeah, no, it's not that bad. It's a pretty solid entry. I remember I was around for the launch of the games, which I didn't even have too much issues with. Even the crash bug only happened to me once, and autosave made me lose nothing. Yeah, I don't know if I had any, and I don't think I experienced any crash bugs. Again, the frame rate was the most difficult thing for me to deal with, but I played through both the Subnautica games on Switch. I've become accustomed to dealing with shitty frame rates, so that was something that I just kind of like dealt with. It wasn't. I recognized that it sucked, but it wasn't enough for me to stop playing it, because the core of the game was still enjoyable enough that I wanted to keep playing it. Funnily enough, one of the things that I liked the most about Scarlet and Violet is actually the story of all things. The way that it has, 3 different kind of like simultaneous stories going on, and they all kind of converge at the end. I actually really liked that. There's so many people who just skip through all the dialogue in Pokemon and don't actually pay attention to what is going on. And the fact that it is all dialogue that you have to read, the character animations could use a little bit more. The story went ham this time around. Yes, I will give Game Freak props. The story was good on this one. I liked the story. I still think that they could improve with things like character animations and cutscenes, and I don't know, maybe give a shot at some voice acting so it's not just all quiet. Like, one of the most egregious situations that I recall from that was in Sword and Shield, where you get to the rocker character, and he's doing his introduction, and he's like holding the mic, and he's like singing, and it's just silence. Really? You couldn't have like done something there? Do some like gibberish at the very least. Quite the bold move, making the professors be dead this time around. Yes! Oh my god, that was a twist I was not expecting. It was so well done too. It was like I remember like experiencing that. I was like, oh my god. That was, oh yeah. The story was good. The story was very good in these. So that's one of the most surprising things that I felt about the games. Once you get past the performance, it is a good game. They are a good set of games. The DLC adds a lot of extra content, which I feel is worthwhile. And playing it on Nintendo Switch 2, it feels like how the game should have been played. Sorry, I'm just checking these real quick to see if I have any other 6 IVs. I am going to be wrapping up here real soon, because I'm... What do we got?
Indie Retro 77 just followed.
Indie Retro, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Just checking these real quick for any other 6 IVs. Oh, this one's got no good HP. Bleh. Yeah, I have a lot of opinions about Nintendo games. Oh, here we go. Here's another 6IV. Again, it doesn't have the hidden ability. Which, I mean, that isn't a big deal because if I really wanted to, I can just fix it with an ability patch. The game has been pretty generous thanks to the raids. Doing the raids, I get tons of the ability capsules, ability patches. Maybe they don't want to get rid of the old school vibe with the text boxes. I don't know. I think it's just easier for them not to do voice acting. Easier and cheaper. One of the things that some people don't take into consideration is Game Freak is under quite a bit of pressure in regards to getting these games out on time. You will never see a Pokemon game get delayed because I'm just going to give you an example. Mega Dragonite was the first Mega Pokemon revealed for Pokemon Legends ZA. And not too long after it was revealed, that Pokemon showed up in the anime. That Pokemon had to be revealed for the game before they could introduce it in the anime. So a lot of the other parts of Pokemon, like the anime and the trading card game, rely on things to be included in the games first and foremost before they are added into the other ones. Has any Nintendo game ever been delayed? Yes. So I believe there's a series of the games that have noticed several delays. I believe both of the Advanced Wars games, the original Game Boy one, Game Boy Advance one, and the one on the re-release on Switch, both of those were delayed because of like various. So I think the first one was delayed because of 9/11. It was originally going to release like on that or after that day or something. I don't remember the specifics, but it was like right around that time. So 9/11 happened, and they decided to the game got delayed. And then with the recent one does not forget about that game. Yeah. For the more recent one, it was going to get launched, but then when the whole conflict between, when the whole Russia war started going on, the game actually got delayed because one of the first factions you fight in that game is sort of like Russia coded. So they were like, let's just like push this game back a little bit while that's going on until things calm down. So those are situations. Oh, there's plenty of games that have been delayed. Fucking look at Metroid Prime 4. That game had to be, the development had to be restarted on that one. We still don't have a release date for it. We should be getting a release date for it soon. If the leaks are to be believed, there's going to be a Nintendo Direct on September 12th. And we should get a release date for Metroid Prime then. And they will also apparently be announcing there's going to be a Metroid Prime 4 Direct, like specific one, kind of like how they've done one for Mario Kart World, one for Donkey Kong Bonanza. Not quite to the extent of the Kirby, because Sakurai was responsible for that one. But anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up here. It's 11 o'clock for me. I still need to get to bed soon if I'm going to get good sleep before the bowling event tomorrow. So let's see who's live so we can find someone to raid, because I gotta share the love. Stoker was so nice to raid. I gotta send y'all over to someone as well. Who do we have that's live today? Let's see. We have Ansu Blue is doing Get to Work. Oh, that looks that goofy ass game. Yeah, that'll be a fun one. All right, let's send y'all over there. Once again, thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Thank you to Stoker for the raid. Thank you, raiders, for hanging out. Thank you for everyone who followed and chatted and kept me company. Unfortunately, we didn't get much for shinies, but I was doing things a little bit differently, focusing more on eggs, which are a much slower process than the sandwich method anyway. I'll see about like prepping some more eggs and doing this type of a stream again sometime. But in the meantime, I don't expect a stream tomorrow because, I mean, I say as I did tonight, I wasn't gonna stream, but here I was. I might be too tired tomorrow after the bowling. So don't expect to stream. I'll say that much. Don't expect to stream. But I should be good for Sunday and Monday since it's a holiday. I don't have to work on Monday. So I'll be around for that. But yeah, that's going to be it for me tonight. Thank you everyone again so much. Make sure to follow me on my socials on Blue Sky and Twitter. Also, make sure to subscribe to me on YouTube. I just hit 100 subscriber there, and you can see my shorts where I also post the clips and the high quality VODs there as well. So thank you everyone again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.